As per the traditional system of India, there are several steps for an individual to develop himself or herself. It is through that kind of a process the individual grows in his knowledge as well as in his skills. The first one of the various steps of the process is to learn it from a text or a guru. That is the first step. Without learning that, you cannot grow. That is the first step. Learn it first. But just learning it in mind is not enough. Bringing that into practice, that is called sadhana. Once you learn it, you need to bring it into practice. It is not easy to bring whatever you have learned into practice. It requires very strong willpower and a constant practice for making it a habit of yourself. That is the second step. The third step is your behavior in the society. Being a sadhaka, you behavior in the society, you behavior in your work, you behavior in your group, in your society, in your relatives, friends, that group. So these are various steps, and finally there would be the realization of the ultimate knowledge, the knowledge that I am not this body and mind, I am the Ātma. That is the real knowledge. As we repeatedly say, this is the ultimate knowledge. And that knowledge is called siddhi, the ultimate knowledge. Nishchita jnanam, the knowledge without any doubt. That knowledge is ultimate aim of all our sadhana. These are the various steps of the process of sadhana, which is described in today's stanza. Geyam gītā nāmasahasram, dhyeyam śrīpatiru ajasram, neyam sajjanasamge cittam, deyam sādhujanāya vittam. Geyam gītā nāmasahasram, dhyeyam śrīpatiru ajasram, neyam sajjanasamge cittam, deyam sādhujanāya vittam. Here in this stanza, the process in 3 steps are explained here. The first one, you learn it from a text, that is Geyam Gītā nāmasahasram, Bhagavad Gita or Sahasranāmam. You have to learn either Bhagavad Gita or Sahasranāmam. Both these, either Bhagavad Gita or Sahasranāmam, both these include the ultimate knowledge in a very, very simple form, so that everybody can understand the ultimate knowledge, which is explained through Bhagavad Gita or Sahasranāmam. Not in the form of serious knowledge. The knowledge is presented in these 2 texts. The knowledge is presented in the form of either bhakti or metaphorically, as in Bhagavad Gita, in various stanzas. The ultimate knowledge is presented in various metaphors, using various metaphors like kshetra kshetrajna vibhaga yogam, a field, and the one who knows about the field. A farmer knows his own field. So here the farmer stands for Jivatma and the field stands for the body and mind. That is how the metaphor works there. And Gunatita, another expression of the reality. Trigunam, Sattva and Rajas, Tamas, these 3 gunas are the aspects containing in Prakṛti. These 3 gunas need to be overcome by the individual. These 3 gunas are part of Prakṛti, and when you realize that you are not the Prakṛti, you are the Jivatma, naturally you are overcoming these three gunas in Prakṛti. That is another way of expression. And then in another chapter, he talks about a tree which is having root on top and the branches downward. This tree is the tree of samsara, the tree of Prakṛti, and the root reaches Paramatma. And the branches in this world spread everywhere. Just like our life, we have the root, Jivatma, and our functions in this world, our functions in various fields, in the form of attachment towards various aspects, they are called branches. So this is another metaphor. Through all these various metaphors, he is trying to teach us the ultimate knowledge of the Prakṛti and Jivatma existing in this nature. Gayam Gita. When you are learning Gita, you are getting this knowledge inside you. Then you start thinking, is it true? Is it right? I want to know about it. So you start searching for it. Gayam Gita. Nāmasahasram, Sahasranāmam is also giving you knowledge about various aspects like this. Here he mentions about Viṣhṇu Sahasranāmam because in Bhaja Go vindam, the God described in various stanzas are nobody but Lord Viṣhṇu. Therefore, this Sahasranāmam also is Viṣhṇu Sahasranāmam. In Viṣhṇu Sahasranāmam, Vishvam, Vishnur, Vashatkaro, Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu, Bhutakrit, Bhuta Bhavo, Bhutātma, Bhuta Bhavana. Like this, he describes the actual form of God, not the external form of God, but the qualities of it. By learning the qualities of God, you are understanding who this God is in reality. That teaches you ideas about the reality of the world. Maybe you are not realized at that time. You only know it as an idea. You know that as an idea. Because through these texts, you are getting these ideas. Or the Guru teaches you the ideas. On the basis of these ideas, you later need to do sadhana. But the Sahasranāmam, while you are learning it and uttering it, you are doing it just out of your devotion to the God or Goddess. You do not know, you are not realizing it in the first instances that this contains very serious ultimate knowledge in it. You are only worshipping God. But while worshipping God, you try to think about the meaning of the names. By remembering or trying to understand the meaning of the words, of the names of God, slowly you are getting some ideas in your mind. Once you get these ideas in your mind, in your practice, you try to practice them. That aspect, practicing this knowledge which you have learned from Bhagavad Gita or Sahasranāma, is called śrīpatiru ajasram dhyeyam. Dhyeyam śrīpatiru ajasram. Śrīpatirupam ajasram dhyeyam. Dhyeyam means you should meditate. You should reflect upon. You should think about the knowledge you have learned. How is it relevant? Is it true? Is it only imagination? Or is there any truth in it? You have to try to search. You have to try to reflect on it, asking the question again and again. Through this process of repeated questions, you are getting the true knowledge inside you. That process is called śrīpatiru ajasram dhyeyam. Ajasram means continuously, without interval, continuously. Dhyeyam, reflect. You need to reflect. You have to search for the form of God. It says Viṣhvam. Viṣhṇu is Viṣhvam. Viṣhvam means the world, and Viṣhṇu means a God. How can this be the same? So you are calling Viṣhṇu Viṣhvam. Viṣhvam, the world. Viṣhṇu. Viṣhṇu means all pervading, filled everywhere. Each spot is filled with that God. Very strange. But you have to search for the real meaning of it. So each word, the meaning you have to understand, and you have to try to apply that in your life, in your day-to-day life. That effort is Rūpam Ajasram Dhyeyam. What is the real form? What is the reality of the form of God? Why this God is presented like this? I want to know the reality. I want to know what it represents. I want to know what it stands for. That search, that is practical aspect of it. It is not by giving up all our activities we are doing it. Not like that. While we are doing our karma yogam, while we are functioning in our day-to-day activities, this happens parallelly. When you get some time, or in the morning and evening when you are doing your worship, you continue this process of searching for the truth of God on the basis of the knowledge you received from Bhagavad Gita or Sahasranāmam. This is the traditional process. And through śrīpatiru ajasram dhyeyam, through that dhyanam, through that continuous process of reflection, you get some knowledge inside you. You start to realize, oh, this God means something really existing in me. That prana, that energy which is functioning in me, that is nothing but God. Even now I am able to speak because of the energy from God. I am able to breathe because of the energy from God. The food I am eating, I can swallow it because of the power of God, and it is get digested because of the power of God. My heart, my brain, various parts of my body are functioning because of the power of God. So I realize the reality, I realize the fact that everything in me, everything around me is functioning on the basis of God. Still I am searching what is the real form of God, because śrīpatiru ajasram dhyeyam. Still, then I realize there are two aspects. One is Prakṛti and one is Ātma. I am the Ātma. The Prakṛti is functioning. This body and mind are parts of Prakṛti. They are functioning. But I am the Ātma who is an observer of this functioning. I realize that inside me. As a result of learning from Bhagavad Gita or Sahasranāmam, and as a result of my continuous reflection upon this knowledge, I am coming to the realization of it. On the basis of this, I am functioning in world. How is it? Neyam sajjanasamge cittam. I start realizing who are good people, who are bad people. Those people who are leading me towards ignorance or bad behavior, such people are not good people. They are not sajjana. I am attracted towards sajjana. That is one aspect. And then another aspect, dhye sādhujanāya cha vittam. There is another version, dhye dīnajanāya cha vittam. Here it says sādhujanāya. Sādhujanāya means those who are interested in doing this process of searching for God and knowledge. Those who are searching for God or knowledge, they need to be paid. When you have some excess of money with you, you need to share it for the purpose of research, for the purpose of encouraging sadhana, tapas. Neyam sajjanasamge cittam deyam sādhujanāya ca vittam. These are the methods to behave in the society. You try to be with good people, and whatever you have excess, you share it with really deserving people. Sadhu means deserving, good people, truthful people. That is sadhu. So these three aspects he is describing in this stanza. One, you need to learn it from simple texts in the beginning, and then you need to practice it in your day-to-day life, and through the knowledge and realization, out of this process you function in the society. That is the process of loka sangraham. As Bhagavad Gita says, loka sangraham. Loka sangraham means when you are finding out negative aspect anywhere, you try to eradicate it. What are the negative activities? The negative activities are against the wisdom, against the highest qualities, against eternal qualities. Truthfulness is the eternal quality. So you try to eradicate negative quality. From where? From your own inside, your own mind and activity, thought, words. You try to eradicate lies and stealing and fill truthfulness inside you. And in your activities in the society, you become truthful, eradicate lies and stealing. And wherever in the society, if you see this negative behavior, you try to eradicate it by supporting truthfulness values. That is how loka sangraham happens. It should be eradicated from inside you. It should be eradicated from your behavior. It should be eradicated from the society as well. So these three levels need to be purified. That process is loka sangraham. If you want to become capable enough to do this loka sangraham, you have to go through the process described here. Learn values first, practice them in you, and try to find out the real importance, relevance of them. Then bring everything in your public activity, in your day-to-day activity. These three levels need to be continuously happened in you for the growth of yourself as well as of the society.